All right, this is the lesson on estimation. And first off, let me tell you, estimation is a very useful skill in real life. When you go out into the store, you want to make sure that you have enough money for something, or you have enough that you're going to buy. I'm going to have a party with 10 people this weekend. We need at least this amount of food, and I want to make sure I have enough. Going to the lumber store, making sure you have enough wood for whatever project you're going to be building. Estimation is great. However, estimation is really, really challenging to test, and so it's something that I don't actually like to do on tests. However, it is on the Keystone Exam, so we're covering it here for now. What I want to tell you straight off the bat is this. Don't actually estimate when doing the estimation problems. Get out your calculator, get the exact answer, and go from there. I'll show you why. If I were to estimate on this problem, and I would say that 77 is approximately 80, because it's closer to 80 than 70. I'm going to a nice multiple of 10 there. 5 1/4. Well, if I want to go to a whole number, that's approximately 5, and 5 3/4. If I were to round that to a nice whole number, that's approximately 6. Now, if I were to do this problem with those numbers, all right, I've got 80, and then I've got 6. If I look at it and I say, okay, 80 divided by 5 is going to give me 16. And that's 16 times. So every time if I used 77 cups, every 5 of them, all right, is going to give me 5 servings. So there's 16 groups of 5 in 80, and so that's 16 groups of 5 servings. So then I'm going to take 16 times 5 servings to tell me that this could give me approximately 80 servings, which is one of my answers here. However, it's not the right answer. All right, let's look at it a different way. What if I did 6? I did the same thing. I take the amount of 80 and I'm dividing by 6 because I'm going to see how many groups of 5 servings go into this. And I see that 80 divided by 6 is 13.3 repeating. So there's 13 1/3 groups of 5, because remember, what I'm estimating in this case, every 6 cups of flour is 5 servings. So if I take that 13 1/3, or 13.3 repeating, and I multiply it by the 5 servings that each one of those will give me, I get an amount of 66.6 repeating. All right, and 66.6 repeating, if I look at that, well, that's in the 60s. I have a 60 here that would be tempting to hit, but it is closer to 70, which is actually our answer here. But let me show you why 70 is the answer. If I actually calculate this and I see that right in between is 5.5, and I take 77 divided by 5.5 to see how many times it's going to go in there, all right, I get 14, which means I'm probably, with 77 cups of flour, I probably did 14 sets of my recipe, and each of those 14 sets gives me 5 servings, and 14 times 5 is 70, all right? And that's why 70 here would be our correct answer. But notice, when you estimate, no matter which way you estimate, it's not that, when I got 80 here, it's not that I estimated wrong. I mean, I rounded 80 correctly. I rounded 5 1/4 correctly. It just wasn't the same way that they wanted to round. So just do the actual problem out, see what it is, and go from there. So with that in mind, I'm going to do some more problems, and I'm going to show you how to just do the problem straight out and get the correct answer. All right, this problem here. Uniquely, this problem, if you were to round, it does actually work out rather well. However, I'm going to show you how to do it without rounding, because once again, you never know if the problem you're dealing with, when you round it, if it's going to work out well or not. In this case, Tipton Tile has seen an increase in sales over the last few weeks. They sold 6,732 square feet of tile to 36 customers last week. If they are expecting between 51 and 61 people to buy tile this week, about how many square feet of tile can they expect to sell? Well, if we had 6,732 square feet of tile per 36 customers, and I divide that out, that means that we sold approximately 187 square feet squared per customer. All right, because it was feet squared over customer. All right, now if it's 187 feet squared per customer, and we're going to see between 51 and 61, well, that means I can take 51 times that 187 and 61 times that 187 to see what my range is going to be in this case. And 51 times 187 gives me 9,537 as my low end, and my high end of 11,407. All right, and so in this case, I'm just looking for which one of these values can be found in between those high and low estimates. And we can see right here, option C, 10,000, can be found right in between our 9,000 and our 11,000. So that would be the answer we're looking to get. If you were to actually round this, you could round this 6,700 to 7,000. All right, the 36 could be rounded up to 40. All right, because it's closer to 40 than 30. And if you were to do that division and you were to do 7,000 divided by 40, we get 175. So it's approximately 175 feet squared per customer. Notice it's definitely off. It's definitely lower. All right, but then when we do our multiplication, we have 50, which we'd round 51 down to 50, and we'd round 61 up to 60. And as we rounded those, we would find that we could expect at the low end 8,750, and at the high end, we could expect 10,500. All right. Now at that point, this number happens to still fit in between those, but if you notice, it's really pushing that upper boundary that we could have almost had a mistake doing our rounding. Once again, I highly recommend don't actually round at all. Just do the problem out. You are allowed to use a calculator, so there's really no need to round. Do it out straight and then see what you got from there. Let's do one more together. All right, our final problem as we look at it here, it says a computer company has a special going on in which all customers receive a free monitor and scanner with the purchase of a new computer. It costs the company $395.95 to make each computer, $159.68 to make each monitor, and $46.47 to make each scanner. The computers are then sold with a free monitor, free scanner for $2,181.06 each. Approximately how much profit will the company make if 308 customers take advantage of their special? Interesting, the instructions tell you to round to the nearest $50. And I want to show you this one. I'm going to do this one with rounding and not rounding. I'm going to start by not rounding because, again, that's my recommendation. And if I just start by figuring out how much it costs to make a computer, monitor, and scanner total, I'm going to take my value of $395.95, $159.68, and $46.47, and I'm going to add all three of those up. And if I total that, I'm going to put that right here, the total cost, and if I add that up, I get the cost to make it is $602.10. All right, so that's what it cost the company to make this whole combo. All right, now they're selling these for $2,181.06. That means they're making quite a bit of profit. All right, that means my profit is going to be $2,181.06 minus the cost. Profit is always what you sold it for minus the cost. All right, and if we actually subtract that, we find that they are making a profit of $1,578.96 per customer. All right, that means what's their total profit? Well, if they had 308 customers, I can multiply that by the 1,578.96, and I find that their total profit, all right, altogether was $48,486,319.68. All right, and if we look, that answer we can identify that it is closest to this one right here, 480,000, which gives us the answer right away. Again, since you can use a calculator, great route to take. Now watch how they want you to actually do this when they say round to the nearest $50, which is neat because this time you actually can round to get the correct answer because they told you how to round. That means that this value of $395.95 would go to 400. All right, $159.68 would go to 150. All right, $46.47 would go to 50. And now if we get that total, all right, and I'll put this down here, the total cost rounded in order to make it would be $600 if I add all those up. Now that's something you could do in your head. 50 plus 150 is 200 plus 400 is 600. You've got it. All right. Now this value of 2,180, that would round to 2,200. because 181 is closer to 200 than it is to 150. That means that we would have to take, for our profit, we would have to take that 2200 and subtract the 600 from it. And when you do that, you find that you have a profit of 1600. Now, once again, you could probably do that in your head as well. 22 minus 6 is 16, so I know I'm dealing in hundreds, so 1600. But then we're going to round this 308. That would round down to 300. And we're now going to do our profit of 300 to find the total profit times 1600. All right? And 3 times 6, maybe you could do that in your head. All right, maybe you can't, but that's going to give me 48. All right, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 480,000, which again is our answer. Now, what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. I mean, that is easier to do, and yes, you could work it out pencil and paper or possibly in your head, but with all these calculations, you might be getting out a calculator anyway, especially if you have it available. So then why not just do that from the very beginning? Either way, I still recommend doing the problem straight out to make sure that you rounded the way that they wanted you to and you got the actual closest answer.